I think for myself, in terms of other interests outside of music, I feel like, you know, um, I mean, right now it's going hand in hand in the music. I think the visual aspect is huge for me. Creating visual content, primarily the videos, acting. I used to love acting it when I was in high school and plays and theater and in front of camera and stuff like that. So I've sort of incorporated that into my videos because it sort of like fixes that itch of being able to just be silly. And I feel like, I'm much more mission driven. So more than I think about things from like, the business perspective of like new ventures, I'm constantly always thinking about how I'm going to accomplish that goal. Like for me, it's important for young black kids in America to start having wholesome content to listen to and to watch. So that means we got to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like that's just way I sort of think from that standpoint of like the entertainment standpoint. Any way that I could be involved to be able to recreate, not really recreate, but shape, the full narrative of what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like so, growing up as a kid, like no person has more stereotypes on black people more than black people, especially when you grew up in the hood and you've been around, and the same for any other race or whatever. You're bad and you're good more than anybody else. One of the things I feel like for us in the black community, people have not been able to be privy to all the good. I used to be in school, and I would ask, some of the people when they were doing immigration and when they came over here, why they have the feeling that they have. There was obviously separation um, between certain groups or ethnic groups or whatever. And I remember hearing from a couple of people like, before we come to America, this is all we see of black people, and this is like what we're told even. Like so, we already keep our distance. It's like already one of those things. There's a very interesting quote that came from a woman speaker. She was speaking to a young group of teenage girls, Jewish teenage girls. And it's very interesting because once you're in your own cultural group, you know all the differences that nobody on the outside knows, right? So she was saying all these different details and all these different differences that I could say about this girl or that girl, that girl. But if a Nazi walked in, he just sees Jews, right? So sometimes you kind of got to see things from an outside perspective of even an enemy to be able to understand how silly certain things are. But at the same time, you start to realize, hold on, if that's how these people out here are seeing me as this person, or they see me as an evil person, or they see me or my people as an evil person, I could reshape and rechange that narrative. So for me, when I think about entertainment and I think about new ventures and different things like that, that's my mind, is that these kids, they're going to be able to look up and see people their color, you know what I'm saying, achieving and accomplishing and whatever. Whether that means setting up different ventures to where we're doing much more outreach in the community to talk to kids. My thing is that when I'm done and gone, I want to be able to feel like I helped a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And rescued them, not in a physical sense, but you know what I'm saying, much more emotionally and spiritually from whatever's been tugging at them. So my mind is just like focused on that, and I'm using every tool available to accomplish it. Let me tell you a story. I'll tell you the story on that, just this one. So once there was a guy, right? And he would sit underneath the tree. He would play his ukulele, whatever. And as the apples were falling down, he would grab them here, eat the apples and whatever. So one business guy, he's on a journey, he comes and he has to pass this tree for whatever reason to get to wherever he's going. He sees this guy and he asked him, like, what are you doing? He said, I'm doing what I enjoy. I love to sing. I sit underneath this tree. The apples fall. Each one that comes, I eat it. I don't have to go anything. He's like, but what about like business and working, and what about supporting and a family? It's like like do what? He says, well, maybe you can go and get an education. He says, okay, and then what? He said, after you get an education, you can go and you can get a good paying job or whatever. He said, okay, and then what? He said, then you can learn from your job or take a trade, and then you'll start your own business. He said, then what? He says, and then you can have wealth, and you have so much money you won't have to do anything. You can sit in the tree and the apples. He said, guess what? I'm already doing it. I'm already doing it right now. I'm already there. right? I'm happy with my lot, so I'm doing what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's my wealth. Very important, man. Very important to do what you're passionate about, and just go. You know what I mean? That is the wealth. You know, interesting part about it, because like, you know, there's many different things that are interesting about Judaism in particular. Which one of the things that attracted me is that you don't have to believe in Judaism to like go to heaven or not, you know what I'm saying? So by nature, it's not preachy, because there's no pressure to convert anybody. In fact, if you want to convert, they push you away first. They tell you, no, you could already go to heaven. Why are you going to come and make yourself that now you're going to be more righteous, and you don't even have all these obligations or anything. You understand what I'm saying? So that put me in a position to where I'm just able to go give love, you know what I'm saying, and not expect for something back. I don't need you to come be like me. I don't need you to dress like me. I don't need you to, you know what I'm saying? So it really takes off a lot of pressure when it's just like, I just got to go give love. You know what I mean? So that's, yeah. So love notes.